What's good, guys? Dope Randy back at it again with the final race in the second round of the Sulphur Racing League playoffs. As this time we get to go to the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the running of the Brickyard 400. And like I just said, this is the final race, as there will be another cutoff after this race, as 19 will be chopped down to 14 after this race. And some storylines for this race include that your boy, me, is going to try to go for a back-to-back win after he miraculously prevailed at Kentucky by pretty much being one of the last men standing through all the chaos and the melee. And to do that, we're going to have to do what I've been doing all season, which is qualifying up front, which, again, the qualifying average is at a 2.42 on that historic pace to break the all-time record. In addition, I know the Xfinity 5, particularly me, really likes this track, and I feel like we can try to dominate this race. But to do that, we all need to qualify in the front and execute the strategy as my agenda. Like ever since I felt like I was locked in, is to get as many playoff points as you can, because this next round is going to be really tricky. But like I've been saying, you can't do that without a good qualifying. And, you know, all hell's going to break loose in qualifying here, as I try to come down pit road, and I barely clip the entrance of pit road. But I mean, that was just one thing on top of another, on top of another. Like, that was not the move at all. Probably one of the worst pit entries you'll ever see.
2 to go.
As I do have to make adjustments on the fly so that I won't go a lap down, because that was such a bad pit entry, because I became the human pinball machine. As it seems like we have a pretty good line forming between me, Spank, and Sharp. I actually scratched that because Sharp is gone off into the distance. And the plan was to try to stay on the lead lap, and I think we will. And that's a terrible turn 3 by me, as I'm only going to get one crack at it in qualifying, so this has to be the perfect one. This has to be the flywheel, so here we go. And we get into turn 1 quite nicely. And then coming off turn 2, I'm going to barely miss that fence. As you can see, I am the last person on the track, as Sharp just has a huge problem. And then that was an okay turn 3. try to get it down off turn 4 and just get a good run, but I hit the fence, and that's that. So I'm expecting to not, as I run a 49.35, not really looking forward to see where that's gonna put me, because I didn't get all the momentum coming off the turn just to take the lap. And then I had to swerve on the back straight. And then I got hit by the fence coming off the last turn, and that killed all the front stretch speed / momentum. So a 49.35 after a terrible pit road entry, after a terrible first lap. I mean, like always, if you like, but as you can see, as we get a miracle qualifying result, and sometimes you have to be lucky than good, right? As I qualify P2 with a 49.35, and you see Spank in front of me. That was the lap I was trying to get, but literally everything kept happening, and so we got second. The qualifying average, as a matter of fact, I thought it was in jeopardy for a second, but it actually dips down to a 2.375, and that pace remains intact, which is beautiful. You know what I mean? Beautiful. So as we start this race in P2, Spank again has the pole. The outside lane here at Indy, you want to talk about no get off? I'd put Indy, the outside line of Indy, as one of the worst tracks with the get off. As you'll see here, I'm just going to try to hang on for dear life in this outside lane, but the move will always be the inside. As you see, T-Bone is just going to have the benefit of the doubt.
Hold the top, keep it right there.
And just, we're still side by side, I don't know how, as I'm actually going to have to draft from Spank, and I'm going to get into second, and Lord and behold, I did not lose any positions on the outside lane. It's a miracle. And then we're going to have a little problem about Spank, because he ran 6/10 faster than me. As you can see, he just absolutely killed turn 3 in a bad way, and is holding up the field now as he's going to hit the fence again in turn 1. I'm pretty much telling him I've got to get around you, I've got to move, or literally the whole field is going to be on your butt.
Hold your line.
As I'm finally going to get around him.
Carlo.
And he hits me from the back, as he was having a little technology problem, I'd say, with his steering wheel and gas pedals or brake pedals. Supposedly one of them was malfunctioning, and we'd have to put more input into the pedals, and that's never a good thing, as we now make contact. As he gets back around me for the lead, I have to cut T-Bone off because I am not getting in that freight train, and that allows Major to come underneath T-Bone and Max Traction, who is thankfully not dead, and is in the top 5, so good shit, shout out to him. Now I said a second ago I want playoff points in the worst way, and the way you do that, you gotta outsmart everyone. And for the second race in a row, I'm gonna try to outsmart everyone and come down pit road early with the strat. And I hope it's a beautiful Stratus. We're gonna take 2 tiles and a can. 2 tiles and a can. And hopefully, the reason I did this was because I wanted to break away from that pack, because they was about to go nuts up there, and I didn't want to be involved in any of that wreckage. The only problem about this is you saw the 31 of Rotshaw pitted on the same lap as me and ran around me, and in that 78 of LKG Bean Deuce 2 pitted as well. As you can see, Marcus and Mega Smoke also pitted, which is the last thing I wanted because I wanted to be away from everybody, but instead I've just brought the pack with me. And as you'll see in the pits right here, we're gonna have a melee. As you know, I really don't want to be a trendsetter on pit road. Like, I want to be the only guy on pit road and just let everyone wait to the end, the pit, you know, that they all, eventually they would all come down. Now at this point, I feel like I'm 5th in the running order, technically. Well, not technically. Technically I'm 13th. As Spank just clutches the fence, loses all of this momentum. As you see, more people are coming down pit road. I kinda give LK a bump, but I've just got to go. As I feel like I'm 3rd in the running order, because you see Matt's up there in P7, Watchall in P8, I'm in P9, but the top 6 hasn't pitted yet, so. And another thing, as I pass Watchall for P8, oh, I forgot about it, and Dunn also pitted. But here's the thing, everyone around me is at Spank, and you can clearly see everyone except me and Spank took no tiles, and me and Spank took 2. The reason I took tiles is because I watched the Xfinity race, because, you know, I'm a team owner, and team owners own the team, and part of the team is in the Xfinity series. As I am just catching Matt, which is my teammate, at a rapid pace, and I've caught him,
Clear.
and now I've passed him, just like that. So now, if I can just catch Dunn, I feel like I can win this stage and hold Spank behind me. I feel like it would be a GG, but no. I watched the Xfinity race for my team, and there was a guy, it was Hunty, my team, I told my team to take 2 tiles, and not everyone, but almost everyone around them took no tiles, and they flew right through the field. So, you know, same strategy, I felt like. As you see, Spankstall, as I was talking, I tell you, he needs to forget this week ever happened, because for the 2nd race in a row, he's having a bad break. as Cap, the 18, spins and crashes, and that slows down Dunn dramatically. And now I'm up to
Right,
P2.
Clear.
It's nice to have a little luck in your way, you know. But as I was saying, Spank for the second race in a row has had major trouble. As this time, as you saw on the last lap, he lost a tremendous amount of time. But that's because he wrecked and then he lagged out of the race sequentially. So he just took a huge L these past 2 races, as he will probably be back better than ever for the next round. So we've got 2 laps to go. I'm still second. You see, P1 is ready player. I'm catching him like no one's business. Well, that's because he hasn't pitted yet, and he was trying to stretch this out. But as you can see, I am just... You want to talk about hauling the mail? I am hauling the mail. As I think at this point he realizes that he can't make it to the end, and he decides to come down pit road. And that's going to hand over the stage to Moore, as we got 1 lap to go in this stage, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Hashtag cheap plug. And as you can see, the gaps. 2 tires mean something in Indy. You can't just walk the dog on no tiles and take a half or 1 can and expect to be brilliant. You can't, as I am literally just walking the dog for the final half lap, as the lead is going to grow to 5 seconds, coming off turn 4, as the field light just came on, but it's not going to matter, because for the 4th time this season, the 47 has won a stage, and this time it's at the Brickyard. So, beautiful start to the race. Perfectly executed strat, plus a little luck, and that's going to result in a stage win for me. And so I'm now up to 9 total playoff points, but just the 4th most by any driver. The other 3 are Team Mills, who right now, I don't know what's going to happen. He is in a hurricane situation and having to evacuate. And I don't know when he's going to be able to race again, as he is in the track of Hurricane Florence, and I hope he stays safe if you're watching this. So he's got the most with 11. Major's got second most with 10. Actually, it's a 2-way tie because Major and Sharp have 10. Then I'm going to have 9. So I feel like if I can just keep in the top 4 amongst playoff points, I feel like I can be consistent enough to get into the championship, which would be pretty cool. A rookie in the championship. You've never heard that before, haven't you? Of course you haven't. And then we had the strat of pitting at the end of the stage for trap position. And with that, and then you had Hughes taking 2 tiles, which I question that in a million ways. But
Still there. Clear low.
as you can see, Calamity's gonna have even Marcus clips me and Sharp almost. And I mean, that boy almost finishes me off for dead.
Arlo.
But I just get out of the gas and just keep it going. And in case you didn't see, I think Major got... He went up the track a little bit and tried to come down, and that slowed everybody up. And then I got plowed by the 22. And then I got plowed by him. Well, not plowed. I got hit by the 22. And then that got me closer than the 20 who just came down pit road for the strat. Almost finished me off, but again, the gods are on my side. as I didn't go around, and I'm just going to keep going. Now, I'm only 5.5 seconds back. I feel like if I can just get through the traffic, we'd be fine. I feel like I've got the piece to do it. And besides, at this point, it's like a 5 or 6 car pack for the lead. And when they're all around each other, it's common sense that if everyone's around each other, as you see, that's kind of them up there. If you're in a pack trying to race each other, you tend to go slower than someone who's all by themselves. With this or in this case, in a 3-car draft, as I'm drafting off Hughes, who just caught D's, as Hughes is going to get around D's, and then I'm just going to follow right in line with him, and I'm up to 9th all of a sudden.
Clear up top.
As D's just kills the fence, as we have more takers come down pit road. As the gap is now down to 4.7 seconds, and I'm thinking maybe this is possible. Now I'm just trying to draft off Hughes so that we can try to do something, because I didn't really want to pit. So I gave Hughes a shot, but it's going to help him in the long run, as we're going to get 2 spots right here.
Clear up top.
Because I tell you, me and Hughes are just flying, as he's having the race of his season right now. I mean, he has had a pathetic season, but he's trying to make up for it today. As he is just trying to wheel this thing up towards the front. But at this point, I realize that I'm faster than him, and I'm just going to try to get around him. Because I feel like he is just a nuisance. He's like a little, as he clips the apron, right when I was talking nice about him, he does that to me. And then at that point, I pretty much made the decision to come down pit road, because that pretty much just killed any chance we have of trying to catch up to him and winning this stage on speed. So at this point, I was thinking maybe we can win this stage on strat again. So another 2-tire pit stop, because tires matter. As you see, the 43, I mean not the 43, the 7 come down pit road. You saw Sharp in the 20 just take off. That's the problem, because he is, in reality, he is the leader of this stage, unless the top 5 or 6 have a great pit stop. As I come out right in front of Marcus on the 22. At this point, it's all about positioning for that pivotal, that's the word I'm looking for, pivotal stage 3. And I feel like I've got the speed to win. And wouldn't it be special if I went back to back after not winning it all? Because I'm I'm a loser. So let's just gonna try to ride this out and try to think of something smart as done. I get around him for P11 as he comes out pit road. Now keep in mind the leaders are on the same straightaway as we are, but 7-8 seconds away from getting lapped. But it's not going to matter because they will have to come down pit road regardless. So, yeah. As the gap is closing, is shrinking regardless, so I'm not really that concerned about getting lapped. Because I think they come down pit road this time by, if I'm not mistaken. But as we've hit a dead period, and again, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up down below. Comment if you want to be interactive and be social. It is 2018, people. And subscribe if you want to see more content just like this, as I have two, maybe 3 projects brewing for future videos. As you can just see, the tires mean so much. As I'm just passing my teammate Matt, like he's standing still. As I am now up to 6th. Yay me. And the guys who was in the top 5. Major Spy was leading that pack up towards the front. It turns out he just had to take a half can and pretty much just rode it out. And even on tires, I'm not going to gain 7.5 seconds on a guy in 2-3 laps. As more pit stops happen, as we're gonna hit 1 lap to go in this stage, sponsored by Credit One Bank, hashtag cheap plug. We're now up to 4th, as It's Ready Player again tries to stretch this out as long as he can, and he hasn't pitted yet, so it's gonna be close. But I mean, this is pretty much in no man's land. 3.5 back, 3.5 forward. I decided to make a little bit of a strategy call. Come down pit road to gain track position for stage 3. Because why not, right? And so, It's Ready Player does win this stage as he is running out of gas coming to the finish line for his first stage win of the season. First playoff point of the season. So good for him. So I come down pit road for the betterment of stage 3. And I know I'm going to be failed coming off pit road. Unless something happens. And there we go, I'm going to be third. So I finished 12th in the stage. This boo. But so this stage 3, I feel like I have a race winning pool. Now, as you can see here, some people took 2 tires.
They're about to throw the green.
Some people just stayed out. The top 3 stayed out. The other 3, the other 4, 5. Okay, the top 3 stayed out. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th pitted under the stage. As you saw that, right? I missed a shift. Oh, this Marcus tried to kill me down the back stretch, and I was not having any of it. I'm not gonna get this race ruined by something like that. So, goodbye for P10. And as I have a crash, and I get hit, and I barely miss pit road by however much margin I was from that white line. Because once you hit the line, you're down pit road and it's a GG for you. And crisis averted, if you can imagine. I only lost a second, so yeah. So you do have to make one more pit stop. We have 12 laps to go and 8 laps of gas in the tank. So you don't have to fill this up by any means of the imagination to make it to the end. As I am just flying to catch up to 7th and 6th. So we got 11 laps to go. As it's the 38 and the 78. As they're swerving up there, giving me a heart attack. As I'm just gonna get the OP run down the back. I'm gonna get around the 78 of LKG for 7th. Down, under, and gone. As Cambo smacks the fence. And I'm going to get around him for 6th. Easy. And so just like in the second stage, me and he was just going to try to draft up there towards the front pack. Because this time he better not clip the apron. And I hope he doesn't. As we are gaining on that front 4 up there, which is Major, Sharp, Dunn, and Watchful. And as you can see, we're coming. Say that because the top is that group pretty much divided into 2 of Major and Watchful and Dunn and Sharp. As Hughes has now cut the back of that pack with the first one. He's going to try to go under him. As again, look at old Hughes having... I'd say this might be the best I've ever seen him. I really didn't get to see him much before this season. But yeah, he's having a race he won't forget anytime soon. So he's up to 4th. Sharp having a terrible handling call at the moment as Watson pretty much just puts Hughes in the grass. And then that pretty much bottles up everyone. As Watson and Sharp come down pit road. I think Watson at this point spins because he came to pit road at such a weird angle that didn't allow for it at all. So, and I'm going to come down pit road next time by, or if not that, the time after that. As I'm pretty much going to follow what the leader does. And he does not come down pit road yet. As Dunn does come down pit road. If we've got 7 laps to go in this race. The top 5 still has to pit. And as Major was coming up on lap traffic, aka the people who just came off pit road, and they'll get nuts up there. Really nuts up there. And this might be an opportunity for me to get up there and see what I can do with that lead, with the leader. As it's now down to 7 tenths. But he does come down pit road and I'm going to follow him. And at this point, as Major just goes for a spin, as I doink him a little bit. At this point, I'm just hoping that I get a good pit stop. I'm gonna do 2 cans and 4 tires. Hoping I don't get beat out by the strategy or anything stupid like that. And we have a pretty good pit stop at a 14.9 from our Kingsford Chevrolet Chevy. As we are out and away. Now those done in the 21, and there goes Hughes in the 38. That's a problem. And they are long gone. And there goes T-Bone. So I guess I'm 6th. Kind of technically 5th because someone hasn't pitted yet. But you get the picture. So I've got the freshest rubber on the track amongst everyone. And I mean everyone. That's LKG just slides up the track, and I'm just gonna get around them easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I'm up into the top 5. But yeah, I just got beat. I feel like at this point I just got beat by strategy.
Only 5 laps left.
As the last person comes down pit road, which is Matt's in the 7. And I am now 7.2 seconds behind the leader, which is done in the 21. And at this point, you want to talk about being ill? I was ill. Because I'm not. You're gonna have to go about a second and a half a lap to catch him. He's on 2. I'm on 4 as I hit the fence, trying to go as hard as I can. As I feel like I've got the fastest, or one of the fastest cars out here on the freshest rubber. As we've only got 4 laps to go. 6.5. The gap is shrinking, but it's not going to be by enough. I don't think unless they both screw up. As I'm going to catch 3rd, I feel like, on the 2, on his 2, and on my 4 tires. But yeah, you want to talk about a bummer? And I mean, I don't know, the gap between 4 and 2 in comparison to 2 to 0 is huge. You can survive on 2. You can't survive on 0. But 4 is what you want to do. As I'm gonna get around T-Bone.
Hold the bottom, steady.
As we're gonna try to recreate our epic encounter from Chicago a while back, but that's not going to be the case. So I'm just going to drive. Now the gap you see is down to 5.3. The gap's closing by a lot, but there's one particular problem, and you're going to see on the right side of your screen, you've got 2 laps to go. I'd have to catch done at a rate of 2.6 seconds a lap just to get to the bumper on the white on the checker flag, which even if you have 2 and I have 4, it's not going to cut it. So unless something happens, I'm going to be stuck with a 3rd place, which is just a shame, because I felt like I was pretty fast. As we're coming to 1 lap to go in this race, sponsored by Credit One Bank, #cheap plug. As done, unless something happens, he's gonna win this race. He used with by far his best run of the season, getting a P2. Unless something happens to him, as the gap is gonna close to under 4 seconds as soon as I get in this turn. But I mean, as Dutton's gonna win his first race of the season. I can literally see Hughes off into the distance. But I mean, what a heartbreaker.
Awesome.
So I get a P3. I still love a top 5. But winning at the Brickyard means so much to a driver. It's one of the crown jewels of NASCAR. And you gotta give it to Dunn for the good strat that he pulled. Him and Hughes. 1-2. I see Xfinity 5 pretty much got left in the cold. For strategy wise. But I mean, I wanted to kiss the bricks, but I guess they wasn't ready for me. I got rejected before I even walked in. But good day. I had a very good day. I got playoff points. 1, but it's 1's better than 0. So we're gonna go into the next round of the playoffs with 9 playoff points. And the reason I stress that enough is because this next round is going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight, and it might be luck, because the next 3 tracks are Talladega, Martinsville. I really love Martinsville. And Texas. I feel okay. Kind of. But, I don't know. We'll see what happens. As I do have a major announcement. Unless something changes, I will be streaming the Talladega race on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. No, I take that back. I will be streaming Talladega at 9:10. 9:10 I will be streaming my live reaction and live race chat, I guess, from Talladega with people who I race with, and you get to hear all that. You get to hear everything that I get. You pretty much get to see the race live and hear what I'm thinking and all that crap. So that'd be fun. And also, pretty excited that we also got the new video game, NASCAR Heat 3, in which I said earlier in the video I have a couple of projects I'm working on that will be on the new game. Well, you'll be seeing NASCAR Heat 2 gameplay till about October, and then it's going to go into the archives of history, of the Dope Randy history, and yeah. And so that will be it for this edition, for this race. Congratulations to Dunn for winning. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more. And thank you all. Goodbye.